prohibit the use of force to acquire territory.
Right. Annexation of Gaza. Right? It's happening right now. You can look up the annexation of Puerto Rico. You can look up the annexation of Hawaii. This is a political term, but it's basically illegal. It's being an aggressor to a territory that's not yours. It's inhabited already. The annexation of the United States by France, the annexation of Haiti, the annexation of West Africa is basically colonialism in their terms. And so, you got two colonizing nations that's supposed to be on the same side, trying to figure out who has the right to illegally annex another territory, and we got, prior knowledge of why this is happening, but mainly is it not because the Lord already said that these will be the signs that would occur in the last days as a symbol when he answered his disciples who wanted to know when will be the last days and the signs of the end and the sign of your coming, Lord. How shall we know you are coming when that time comes before you return? How do we know that time is going to come in the end of the world, which is synonymous for your return? How do we know that all of these things is going to play out or when these things will happen? And he gave him a sign. He gave him an answer. And part of that answer was rumors of war. Do we got anything on rumors of war? If not, let's go ahead with Genesis, whoever's holding that. And Samak, if there's more to that, let me know. Go ahead with Genesis.
Okay, can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Good. Genesis 27, verse 28, 38. And Esau said unto his father, hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. Verse 39. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth and of the dew of heaven from above.
So he gave him an earth. He gave him in this blessing, he gave Esau control over the earth. And if anybody want to add anything, feel free. Go ahead.
I'll just gonna read next verse.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 40, it says, and by thy sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck.
Right. So there's the challenge here is to remember all of these things in everyday life. The challenge here is to see why certain things happen for this lifetime and mirror them, match them up to what's happening now. The challenge is that's faced for all of the believers is to consistently and constantly remember the Lord, remember your Creator, remember that He gives powers and rulerships and kingdoms to whoever He wills. And it was even at this time, the two nations that were in the womb of Jacob and Rebekah, their two twins, it was given them prophetically the rulership of the world for different periods of times, so that Esau would rule first, and he would rule with a sword. So this is another reason we match Esau, because he's an aggressor. We brought that word out, aggressor. A man or a person or a country that attacks another first. Esau aggressively goes throughout the world colonizing it. He's fulfilling his blessing by having the fatness of the earth, and he's also fulfilling his blessing of the sword, of using his technology, using his weaponry, using his Gatling gun. If you go throughout periods of history, you'll realize that Esau always had the edge of the sword within this last so many thousands of years of him ruling. He had his edge was his sword. You see, his edge was his technology and his sword, his blacksmiths and his modern day blacksmiths. The scripture tell you is those basically those the ones who can create thermonuclear weapons, those nuclear physicists and those rocket scientists, mainly those coming out of World War II era Nazi Germany, those German scientists that began to work on the atomic bomb and the hydrogen bomb, and it's changed and modified all the way up into the nuclear missile. It's hypersonic nuclear missiles and multiple warhead intercontinental ballistic missiles. We have submarine missiles known as the The Trident, if I'm not mistaken, is one of them that comes from the water. All right. And speaking of submarine, a big issue, just bringing it all the way home with Greenland, a big reason why America is pushing for control in these last days over Greenland is because one of the other aggressors that come out of the nation of Esau, Russia, one of the other aggressors has now seen it fit to come and wreak havoc in their own way by, bringing in warships or bringing in submarines closer to the United States, inching their nuclear arsenal closer to the United States in a retaliation to NATO being the aggressor. See, NATO is not the bad, the unfortunate guy here. NATO is not the poor civilian in this situation. NATO, as we just read, Denmark annexed and took control of Greenland out of nowhere, right? From old land. All right, Britain took control of America. France took control of the middle of the United States at some point in time, in Haiti. Right, Denmark took control of Greenland. And it asked for it. They used that weapon, that sword. You have a whole line of all these Dukes of Edomite fighting over territory. At some point in time, the scriptures say they'll fight each other. Let's get this real quick. I'm gonna share this clip. A little insight to what the heck is going on and why Trump and the United States feel it's a need, feel a desire now to jump on Greenland. Let's see if I can make sure y'all can hear it.
Military presence in the Arctic. These were Russia's Arctic military positions in 1995. Today, infantry, naval, radar, search and rescue, air defense, the biggest buildup since the Soviets fell. This is where we lost Russia's most sophisticated submarines in the North Atlantic for 3 weeks. This is where we found their Lasharic submarine, which we noticed only because it caught.
Nope. I got it. Yo, the only door ain't the Pope's. Nope. I got a joke for the goats. What you call a lamb that is stuck in a well? Oh well, get it? Cause you didn't care. Portals open up all the time through the technology. Sidekicks think that they lit parapsychology. Study me daily but fail because of the y'all and me. Ologist, Matrix trilogy. Made this bill on me just to keep me dead at sea. Big checks just like the ring, cause she ain't get the king. Concerned about everyone else. When my money spring up like the new year of beef, cause I got tricked. Bought a butterfly circling because the thought's clean. Portals open up and the friends saw the look. And you tried to tell me before, but I just had to go and see. Now I know. Let me get out of the street. Russell Lamson behind me. I know these levels be melodies, and some songs saying wasn't short from cheap. Rest in peace, Tarly. Remember when I met another shorty? Told me stop crying in the danger of a long sleep. Go back home. It's a moment. He was telling me, holy door better be Yahusha if you mention Chief.
In the quiet of Christmas Eve, Pope Francis opened the holy door of St. Peter's Basilica, launching what he called a Jubilee of Hope. As the doors opened, the bells of the basilica began to peal.
A fire. We have no idea how many more there are, but we think they're around here, 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 and here. This is Cregan. You know what Cregan is?
A nuclear submarine base in Scotland.
All of the UK's nuclear weaponry is housed at Cregan. It's what makes them one of the 9 nuclear powers. Also, it's the only base in Europe where we can dock our nuclear subs. It's the last place we have any hope of detecting a Russian sub before it's in the vast Atlantic barreling toward New York. The quickest way for Russia to penetrate our naval defenses is steaming from the Arctic to the North Atlantic. This is our military presence in the Arctic. These were Russia's Arctic military positions in 1995. Today, infantry, naval, radar, search and rescue, air defense, the biggest buildup since the Soviets fell.
All right. So what that basically going into is how Russia, who is another Edomite aggressing country and notable figure in end time prophecy, World War III prophecy, thermonuclear war prophecy, a great big agitator to end this, this beast and this shoot upon Babylon, America in these last days. We know it's coming. Russia, the easiest and quickest way for it to destroy America is through the Arctic. Here it is, you got missile defense systems over in the middle of Europe, all throughout Europe, but all they got to do is pass over Europe and go through the Arctic where it's not being covered. That same line that she drew from Russia to America, it passes right by Greenland. And so now, this is America's last chance, so to speak, to stop that. As you can see, war and rumors of war are constantly around. Now, for the average person, they're still worried about Corey Holcomb and Anton Daniels, man. For the average person, their team advanced to the championship. They don't got no time for this. Esau done lockboxed. He put you in a lockbox, locked it, and then threw the key away. As far as the mind frame of the average citizen, they can't distinguish a serious, urgent message from a casual, normal conversation. They can't distinguish that. The Lord didn't give them that outlook to be able to watch and see. The watchman, the conversation around the watchman in the scriptures is constant, consistent, and obvious that some gonna fall asleep. Many don't want to be awake, and the few that are brought to this to the table to be able to be a watchman and set up upon a tower, they have a large task to do, which is to stay up, stay awake, consistently watching and being ready. This goes hand in hand with believing in the word, being a watchman, setting upon your watch and consistently looking out for the things that's about to happen. We can see what's happening right now. This next word, can you read this, Babakashah? Yeshaya? Oh, you on mute.
Destabilization is the process of disrupting the stability, balance, or security of a system, government, or entity, causing it to become weak, vulnerable, or chaotic. It often involves intentional cut off at the end right there. Intentional actions to undermine control, create fear, or cause economic and social disorder. It can apply to.
Did I cut it off?
Nah, we good. It says it can apply to political, economic, psychological, or structural context.
All right. If anybody wants to say anything on that, other than that, it's just basically what's happening with NATO and the EU. What's happening with NATO. NATO is splitting, man. There's a disruption going on. All right, it's a security flaw for America, as you can see. America has now become the destabilizing agitator and aggressor within NATO. And just that fast, the trust of NATO is gone. Just that fast, the bond that they used to have, what we were reading about NATO is falling. All right, what you're going. Yeah, go ahead, bro.
Oh, just a precept that's going into the division, as we was talking about the feet, miry clay and iron not being mixed together, pretty much meshing. Mark 3:23 NLT. It said Yahushua called them over and responded with an illustration. How can Satan cast out Satan, he asked. A kingdom divided by civil war will collapse. So similarly, a family splintered by feuding will fall apart. So if I may, like we always, we're hipped on with Esau, how they get down with each other. They never really get along. They've always been at war with each other. So, when you look at what's going on with these nations who are trying to pretty much establish what a new order, they don't get along. And it's all a part of prophecy. As we were just talking about the feet, miry clay and iron, they're not meshing together. So we're seeing the differences between America overstepping their boundaries and being pretty much a hammer on the earth, trying to go into a land that's not theirs once again, and they're offending their own allies. So all in all, what we're seeing is the Lord stirring up the division to bring forth ultimately Esau's downfall. It's a beautiful thing to see in the spirit, that's knowing what the Lord is doing behind the scenes, setting up Esau with his own tactics. See? But that's what pride gets you, like the scriptures say, before destruction, the pride of man is haughty. So that's on all levels with Esau, especially that division.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, y'all got it.
You know what? Let's keep going. Yeshaya, can you?
God, 2nd Esdras chapter 4 and verse 37. And it says, by measure hath he measured the times, and by number hath he numbered the times. And he doeth not move nor stir them until the said measure be fulfilled.
Right, so as we was talking about at the beginning of the lesson, how the Lord pretty much, there's wars and rumors of wars. At the same time, be not troubled. So there's pretty much a sequence doing prophecy. We know that World War III is not just going to pop out just like that. First, it has to be the implementation of an RFID chip. Okay? You're going to start to see more division take place, more troubles. But that doesn't mean that we're at the end yet. So just understanding how prophecy is in the line and everything's according to sequence, according to the Most High, then it gives you, it keeps you from getting too damn excited, right? And it keeps you from, overdoing things. So we just sitting back watching prophecy play out, knowing the Lord is pretty much doing everything tactfully and in sequence as he planned to bring forth America's destruction. Know some Esau's end. So when we look at Civil War, we look at society about to collapse, we know that that's all a build up into what World War III, the third war, which coming quickly. That's gonna pretty much initiate America's destruction, all right, by Russia and also America's allies. Yeah, what y'all got?
So let's take a second, watch this real quick. Speak for a second. Let me get the video.
Did I have another precept, bro?
Okay, you know what? Let me throw this up there real quick, and then we're gonna grab it. Let me play this one.
To invade Greenland while attending the World Economic Forum in Switzerland. The president saying European leaders have come to a new agreement over the Arctic territory, adding that military intervention is officially off the table.
The president addressing the subject of Greenland directly during his speech in Davos today. Let's send things over to our DC Bureau Chief, Ben Kennedy. He's live in our nation's capital with all the details. Ben.
Today, President Trump said this deal would last forever. He says it is a good agreement for both the U.S. and for NATO.
It's a deal that everybody's very happy with.
President Trump announced the U.S. and NATO have a framework for a future deal with respect to Greenland.
It's a deal that people jumped at. Really fantastic for the USA. Gets everything we wanted, including especially real national security.
And that was the key reason why he said the country needed to acquire the Arctic island, citing threats from China and Russia. A message shared at the World Economic Forum in Switzerland on Wednesday.
We never asked for anything.
It's in Davos the commander-in-chief ruled out military force in U.S. efforts to take over the Danish territory.
I won't do that. Okay, now everyone's saying, oh, good. That's probably the biggest statement I made, because people thought I would use force. I don't have to use force. I don't want to use force.
Sovereignty is something that only Denmark can decide on, and sovereignty is one of the key issues in international law. So I think we should stick to sovereignty and share the interests on the security of the Arctic.
Wall Street bounced back following his remarks that America's army won't be used, and that President Trump is also backing off from threats on European nations amid news of this framework.
Does it still include the United States having ownership of Greenland like you've said you wanted?
It's a long-term deal. It's the ultimate long-term deal. And I think it puts everybody in a really good position, especially as it pertains to security and minerals.
Now, President Trump will be giving remarks tomorrow in Davos in just a few hours.
Go ahead with the next precept, Bob.
If I may. Just going into a couple of points that was made, going into what we were bringing out about annex and how it basically goes against international law. And this setting up the stage for, as this next precept gonna go into, this setting up the stage for, their horse allies hating them. And another thing I heard, a key point was going into minerals. Trump just mentioned minerals. And we know when war begins, that's a key factor where land, lands get annexed, annexed. You have different territories or countries, seeking their old lands, such as Russia with Ukraine and China with Taiwan, and United States jockeying for Greenland. It's a global positioning, letting you know that this is a time of war. If you understand war, you understand history, this is something that happens during a time of war. There's a grab for land because there's a positioning. You jockeying to have resources to be able to sustain your forces during a time of war. So we're seeing all these stages being set for prophecy, man, and it's playing out right before our eyes. It's very beautiful. But we may go on with the precept, Baba Kasha.
If I may, just to throw that out there, the brother did mention that. We could have went into thousands of different, or tens of hundreds of different events happening right now, playing out, that are consistent with rumors of war. We just focusing on a small thing, just one dealing with NATO, EU, main people in this last days of prophecy, main actors. But there's so many different. You can go into India and Pakistan. That's a rumor of war. They fighting on the border. Pakistan, if I'm not mistaken, Pakistan and China, they got their skirmishes on the border. The South China Sea, the Taiwan, the thing the brother just mentioned. There's wars and rumors of war everywhere, which is why the Lord really set up watchmen, the ability for a watchman to stay awake and then to do your job. Think about it. The watchman staying awake, but all he doing is on his phone. That don't make a good watchman. Brothers is consumed in, if we too much consumed into American TV, they ain't considered a great watchman. So it's a balance. There's shifts, even amongst watchmen. There's shifts. But when the watchman on shift, he's supposed to be watching. Well, technically, this is our shift. This is our time. The Lord woke men up to be able to stand. Whether to stand up, so to speak, and stay vigilant. What does the scripture say? Vigilant. Be sober. Be vigilant. All right. This is why we're able to just touch upon these things. But Yeshaya, Babakashah, read for the brother.
God, this is the book of Revelation, chapter 17 and verse 16. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, ye shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire.
And this, if I may, this going into what we're looking at right now. The United States was just that whore that sit upon the beast. Her allies are gonna hate her, and why? We're seeing why, because the pride of this devil, the pride of that whore. It's more stout than their fellows, right? You see the boasting and, I ain't got to use force and all that, such as Trump just said. Well, ultimately, this is going to make, the allies of the United States hate this whore, and it's prophetic. Just going back into these rumors of wars and everything we're seeing playing out is all due to biblical prophecy. we're seeing prophecy play out right before our eyes, man. And again, I must say, it's a very beautiful thing to see, words of our Lord won't return unto him void, but it's going to accomplish that what he set it out to do. And we're seeing it being accomplished. The will of the Lord, that perfect will, which ultimately is to destroy Babylon, the great thermonuclear fire, and set up a righteous kingdom. We're seeing the will of the Lord being played out right before our eyes. But just going back to the precept, we're seeing why, the whore or Babylon and Grace allies are going to hate her for her boasting and her pride. You want to take over this and that. You want to butt your nose into everybody else's business. But it's going to cause the devil's allies to hate her. And ultimately, they're going to shoot at her with those thermonuclear missiles, which is that let the weak say I'm strong. But now the bully on the block got, the ones that they're bullying, they got the same weapons now. Now you can't be the big bully on the block. Now everybody's ready to challenge you, and ultimately they're gonna knock your block off with those thermonuclear missiles. And it's all by prophecy, it's all by the word of the Lord. And the Lord is gonna accomplish his will upon this place by having her own allies shoot at her and team up with her enemies, which are, it's a perfect stage for, American allies to team up with her own enemies. And they're going to shoot arrows at you and ultimately destroy you and burn you with fire. And that fire is a God saying for nuclear war, man, which is biblical.
Hey, the Lord made the enemies of America so fierce that their technology, their stockpile of weapons, that America now is left with no option but to turn and focus on atoms. That's what's going on with Greenland, man. Greenland, Denmark, NATO. Did we sign this pact? We a team, right? And you gotta say, yeah, but if you don't give me Greenland, we're not gonna be a team. As a matter of fact, y'all ain't been doing nothing for me. That's the language that Trump been using. If I can, real quick, let's go into this one. It's called, title say, be grateful. Trump said, be grateful or face consequences. Who you talking to like that? You see, we in a different era where they don't even talk to North Korea like that. You know why? Lil Rocket Man will shoot one real quick at you. Let's go ahead.
NATO, I'm talking about Europe. They have to work on Ukraine. We don't. The United States is very far away. We have a big, beautiful ocean separating us. We have nothing to do with it. Until I came along, NATO was only supposed to pay 2% of GDP. But they weren't paying, most of the countries weren't paying anything. The United States was paying for virtually 100% of NATO. And I got that stopped. I said, that's not fair. But then more importantly, I got NATO to pay 5%, and now they were paying, and now they are paying. So something nobody said was possible. They said, we will never go up higher than 2%. But they went to 5%, and now they're paying the 5%. They didn't pay the 2%, and now they're paying the 5%. And they're stronger for it, and they have an excellent, by the way, Secretary General, who's possibly in the room. Mark, are you here? Yes, he's here. Hello, Mark. We never asked for anything, and we never got anything. We probably won't get anything unless I decide to use excessive strength and force, where we would be, frankly, unstoppable. But I won't do that. Okay? Now everyone's saying, oh, God. That's probably the biggest statement I made, because people thought I would use force. I don't have to use force. I don't want to use force. I won't use force. All the United States is asking for is a place called Greenland, where we already had it as a trustee, but respectfully returned it back to Denmark not long ago after we defeated the Germans, the Japanese, the Italians, and others in World War II. We gave it back to them. We were a powerful force then, but we are a much more powerful force now. After I rebuilt the military in my first term and continue to do so today, we have a budget of $1.5 trillion. We're bringing back battleships. Battleship is 100 times more powerful than the great battleships you saw in World War II. Those great, big, gorgeous ships, the Missouri, the Iowa, the Alabama. Because I thought maybe we could take them out of mothballs. They said, no, sir, these ships are 100, think of that, 100 times far.
I'm gonna skip ahead.
Very energetic and dangerous potential enemies at bay. Is this land on which we're going to build the greatest golden dome ever built? We're building a golden dome that's going to, just by its very nature, going to be defending Canada. Canada gets a lot of freebies from us, by the way. They should be grateful also, but they're not. I watched your Prime Minister yesterday. He wasn't so grateful. They should be grateful to us. Canada lives because of the United States. Remember that, Mark, the next time you make your statements. What we did for Israel was amazing, but that's nothing compared to what we have planned for the United States, Canada, and the rest of the world.
I mean, there you have it, man. Perhaps spoken from the stout horn himself, man. You know. But you see what happened is NATO was split. You know, that's infighting right there. And what's the word rumor? Essentially, a rumor is, you know, it's an unofficial report. You know, so you got the word on the street, then you got the word from the official. And if the officials ain't talking loud enough, or they switching what they're saying, then what do you have? You have rumors that's going to fill in where the official statements don't fill in. And what happens from rumors is people panic. A rumor, this is the elite world of politics. They understand business on another level, but the average person who gets gas at the gas station, he don't understand what that means. All he knows is this is serious, and I might need to stock up on gas, or I might need to stock up on resources now. And this is where you're gonna have the panic buying. This is the real stage of what happens. How it moves is a saying. It moves from war reactions, where war reaches the living room. That's what they call it. Where war reaches the living room. I'm about to stop. Pull that up real quick, and we're gonna go into some more scriptures. See what that term means when war reaches the living room. Because the stage of it is just rumors from the politicians, but then in real life, people's lives daily, the rumors become law. Next thing you know, shipments aren't made. And another thing we had, you know, that's not to our advantage over here in Babylon, America, a lot of so-called Negro Latinos, a lot of lost people, we always think that Esau gonna work it out. You'll let them believe in your everyday life that Esau gonna work it out. Yeah, but they not gonna fight each other for real. They just talking that. And then all it takes is for one, what they didn't tell you is that Greenland actually sent military over to Denmark, started sending military over to Greenland. They made a move. They don't tell you, they keep that part secret, but they actually brought troops over there to Greenland that was ready to fight against American troops if they started showing up. Did you find anything on that? Yeah, go ahead. See if I got you pulled up. Yeah, go ahead, try it now. Yup, you got it.
Alright, so from Google, when war reaches the living room, so the meaning of it is when war reaches the living room refers to the concept of total war, where the violence, destruction, and daily impact of armed conflict enter the private, domestic spaces of civilians, shattering the barrier between the front lines and the home. Goes on to say, it signifies that no one is safe, and the war is no longer a distant event, but an immediate, personal, and inescapable reality. So here are the
Right. You got it, brother.
Lock you. Yeah, so it says here are the key aspects of this meaning based on historical and cultural context. So the living room war, the Vietnam era, the phrase gained prominence during the Vietnam War, which was the first to be heavily televised. So journalists brought the horrors of combat directly into American homes via television, making the war a nightly, unsettling presence in the family's shared space. So total war and civilian impact, it represents the moment of the conflict moves beyond, read it again. It represents the moment a conflict moves beyond combatants, directly affecting the civilian population's homes, safety, and daily life.
And if I may, there's a few things that happens. The supply chains get damaged. Again, your livelihood revolves around the fact that there's going to be gas at the gas station. You cool with that? That's the reason why you go to sleep at night. There's going to be food at the grocery store tomorrow. That thought in your mind allows you to fall asleep at night. And then you can do the other list of things that keep you alive every day, that you utilize every day. That your technology, your internet service is going to react tomorrow. Right? Your phone going to work. The 5G signal's going to be here. You're going to be able to call people. Your electricity's going to be on. You surviving because of the warm gas and electricity that's on in your apartment or in your home right now. The fuel. So the truth of the matter is, as soon as the war reaches the living room, it can be far beyond the first strike, because a rumor will cause people to panic. People don't react the same every time. They don't react the way you want them to react. People react like, hive-minded. Like when something starts, when something's out of control. Oh, that last part, you see it, loss of safety and control. Can you read that part?
It says loss of safety and control. It symbolizes the intrusion of fear, violence, and uncertainty into a space that is supposed to represent safety and normalcy.
So when blackouts happen, blackouts happen because there might have been a strike, a rumor that they struck the towers or something. A rumor that they infiltrated. A rumor that the fuel lines is packed the next day. Out of a rumor, you waiting for 5 hours for gas because of a rumor, or another country threats. That's a rumor. Imagine you were people of Denmark and you hearing Trump make statements like that. Stuff ain't going. You gonna be on edge the next day. So these rumors destabilize people. They split up alliances. So don't be ignorant to say that Esau is this guy that always gets it to work eventually. All you gotta do is sit this one out, let the Edomites is gonna fight, and then you not gonna have no more fuel. When Edomites is gonna go to war very soon, your lights is gonna turn off. When Edomites go to war, them ships ain't gonna come, the cargo ships ain't gonna bring in no more electronics, no more cool things, no more cars, no more items. When countries go to war, whatever needs to be imported, it gets cut off. And as the brother just said, for the sake of war, for the sake of locking down the future of technologies in these what do you call them, the minerals, these minerals that they find over there in Greenland, like uranium, things of that nature. The future of the control over the world domination is in minerals, come to find out, because that's how you keep these appliances going. That's how you keep these weapons going. Your weapons need minerals to make them. Do you know how much silver is put into a warhead? Because they can't use regular metals to rely on regular metals to keep the production, so they have to rely on silver. Silver went up. So in these last days, the rumors is going to become law. The rumors is going to cause people to panic. Is there any more to that?
Yeah, finishing off, it says, in essence, it means that the chaos of the world has breached the final barrier of personal security, forcing civilians to confront the brutality of war in their own home.
Damn, there to go. Let's grab this. Yeshaya.
That's what we read earlier.
Oh, did we?
Yeah, Revelation. Yep, this is Revelation 6 and verse 4. It says, and there went out another horse that was red.
Yeah, Salaki. We know this red horse right here pretty much is Esau Edom, as you read in Genesis 25. Speaks of how he came out red all over like a hairy garment. So this horse, this power that was red, is talking about the so-called white man today. He was given a certain task, as he would pretty much confiscate and steal the world. Pursuant to Job 9:24, where How would he get all these resources? Well, it would be, of course, according to his sword, his blessing. You got it.
It says, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another.
So first thing I want to acknowledge is the fact that a power was given to him. By who? Well, the Heavenly Father gave Esau the authority to go around the earth creating wars. War 1, 2, and the upcoming war, World War 3, were all pretty much banking wars established through Esau, okay? So he was given power to create wars and to take peace from the earth. Which is what you see today. You know, Esau he could never be satisfied, you know, with just what he got. He always got to create wars or create some kind of discourse, even amongst themselves, okay? So he's destroying everything in the process. I think it may be no. Yeah, that's it. You got it.
Yes, and there was given unto him a great sword.
So when you add everything up, you know, just doing Esau's blessing, the sword, that pretty much, you know, even from you know, a little needle to punch into your skin all the way up, you know, to this great sword in the form of the ICBM. You know, the sword ranges. So the great sword, as we know, is the ICBMs that's going to be used to, you know, destroy Esau's own kingdom. You know, he's going to pretty much fall upon his own sword. So this is what's being used by Esau to scare the world into what their new world order, but it's going to backfire. All right, it's all going to backfire. So the things in which they're doing as far as trying to confiscate and steal land for resources to prepare for war is going to cause their own allies, as we, you know, have been going into, to turn their backs on America. Also, the rest of these other nations, you know, pretty much contributing to this great overthrow. All right, so that's what's taking place now. Y'all got it.
We already get this one.
Nah, you can read it, Bible shot.
This is Isaiah 47 and verse 8. It says, therefore, hear now this, thou that art given to pleasures, that dwellest carelessly.
Yeah, it's lucky. And we know that this is talking about Babylon the Great when you read up from the top, which is America today. This is the land that dwelleth carelessly. They don't feel like, you know, anything can really, you know, anything major as far as what nuclear war can really happen to them. That's why you got Trump boasting in his speech, we can do what we want. You know, who's going to stop us, basically? You know, it was pretty much adds on to the scripture about, you know, who should make war with the beast. You know, so due to Esau's pride and military might, he feels like he's untouchable. He's God. Go ahead, bro.
It says, that says in thy heart, I am, and none else beside me. I shall not sit as a widow, neither shall I know the loss of children. I'm living on the edge.
Right, continue.
It says, but these.
Oh, Slack. I think it's another one.
If you got it, just go ahead and keep reading, bro. I'm in the background with a few things.
Okay, come on. Yep, we're going to Isaiah.
I got you.
Isaiah 47 and verse 9. It says, but these two things shall come to thee in a moment, in one day. The loss of children and widowhood, they shall come upon thee, and their perfection for the multitude of thy sorcery.
Yeah, so there you have it. Although America dwells carelessly, you know, pretty much, you know, boasting in its might and wealth, well, they don't understand that the Most High is setting them up, you know, to be snared in an evil time, like the scripture goes into. So although they're doing their work, they're setting up the New World Order, well, the Lord got another plot and plan for them. See? And they can't see it because of their own pride. That's why when you read, I think he posted in the group chat, bro, Obadiah, how the Lord pretty much called their own allies, or, you know, those Confederate nations come up against them. That's exactly what you're saying now. See? So they will know the loss of children. They will know the loss of, you know, this whole place is being completely annihilated. All right? That's the Lord's counsel. But I think that was it on there, bro.
It says,
this is the last part right there.
It says, for the great abundance of thy enchantments.
So yeah, we know that America was used to pretty much forward Esau's witchcraft across all nations, while the nations are polluted and have become pretty much mad and, foolish. So now the skirt of America is being lifted up to where now, the nation's starting to see, what they're really about, which is treachery, deceit, lies, and they're really all about themselves. They go around the earth, confiscating land, playing the hammer of the earth, as the scripture say, and, stealing resources. And the nations are tired of that, man. So what are they gonna do? They're gonna all band together and side with Russia, to bring forth this great destruction. You see? Yeah, you got it, bro.
You said hammer of the earth. Got that for you. This is the next video. I'm gonna try to grab this real quick.
As the US readies for a possible military action on Iran, Russia has urged its ally to keep the door open for dialogue. Moscow has vowed to continue work with Iran despite threats of military action and economic pressure from President Donald Trump. Russia has cautioned US against attack on Iran. It says that the consequences will be disastrous. It has accused US of smashing the world around, first with its raid on Venezuela and now with threats to Iran. In a strongly worded message, Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov has stressed that no third party can change nature of Moscow-Tehran relations.
Certainly, when the US starts acting in ways that neglect the very rules Americans themselves promoted, it suggests that our US colleagues appear unreliable when they behave in such a manner. We simply need to work and to implement the agreements achieved between Russia and Iran, as well as all other economical partners. When such a powerful country like US acts by these dirtier methods, it means only one thing: the US competitive position is steadily worsening.
A shared anti-Western ideology has been bonding factor for Russia and Iran. Both nations, heavily sanctioned by the West, challenge the US-led global system, promote multilateralism through BRICS and SCO. The strong ties between Moscow and Tehran emerge from a mutual need. Iran is one of the few international partners that Russia relies on for military hardware help since the Ukraine war. According to West, Iran supplies Russia with Shahed attack drones and missiles, ammunition and artillery for use in the war. Iran has reportedly sold nearly $3 billion worth of missiles to Russia in the past 4 years. Now, the purchases have included hundreds of Fateh 360 short-range ballistic missiles, nearly 500 other short-range ballistic missiles, and approximately 200 surface-to-air missiles associated with anti-aircraft defense systems. Though Tehran admits it supplied drones to Russia, but says it did so before the war. Moscow, too, have not acknowledged the purchase of Iranian missiles. Now, Western intelligence says that in return, Tehran has received military technology and intelligence from Moscow, as well as funding for its space and missile programs. In December last year, Russia sent 3 Iranian communication satellites into orbit. In July, a Russian rocket sent Iranian communication satellite Nahid-2 into orbit. Tehran is also believed to have coveted Russian Su-35 fighter aircraft and S-400 air defense missile systems, but it's unclear whether it had ever received these. One of the clearest signs that the alliance is more nuanced now is when Russia stood back during heightened tensions between Iran and Israel, and amid US and Israeli airstrikes on Iranian nuclear facilities last summer. 9 months after US strikes, the possibility of another military attack is looming again in Iran. Russia is monitoring the situation in Iran closely. Now, the prospect of another ally falling in the West Asia will be a worrying one for Moscow. Now, this particularly after it has seen its alliances with Venezuela, Syria and the Caribbean upended recently, denting its power and influence abroad. White House envoy Steve Witkoff and US President Donald Trump's son-in-law Jared Kushner are seeking to travel to Moscow to meet Russian President Vladimir Putin. Though the topic of discussion will be Ukraine war, Putin would like to pass a word to Trump through US President's top aide.
Got it, Shai?
Yep, this 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 3. When they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape.
Yeah, so for me, what we're seeing is, the Lord pretty much narrate this destruction as America is pretty much trying to forward its own peace and safety is going to end up backfiring on. So As you just watched this video, even Russia, they went into how Russia's backing up Iran. That's all biblical prophecy. That's Ezekiel 38. How, pretty much Gog Magog would be a how's it go? That would pretty much watch over Persia. There'll be a guard in the Persia. That's Iran, man. So we're seeing that play out as we speak. So Lord is setting America up and they don't even know it. So when they should say peace and safety, when we got our new world order accomplished, then that's when the destruction is gonna come, man. As they travail upon a one-with child, and they should not escape. When you go into Joel, the 2nd chapter, it speaks about how when these nukes are shot, the land of Eden, none shall escape, roughly paraphrase. So the Lord is doing this thing, he's making it vivid, as far as his counsel and his will, man. He's making it known, especially to his prophets. You got it, bro.
God.
Yeah, I got you, bro. Yeah, Obadiah 1 and verse 7, NLT. It says, all your allies will turn against you. They will help to chase you from your land. They will promise you peace while plotting to deceive and destroy you. Your trusted friends will set traps for you. That's it. And you won't even know about it.
Dealing with these other nations, everybody is fed up with Babylon. That's the thing. Not only the prophets, not only the saints, but these other nations as well. Okay? And everybody, as the scriptures you just read, you can tell these other nations, they're gathering up, like the brother spoke upon, and Gog and Magog storming Russia. Okay, they're gathering up to find a way to come up against this place, man. And it's gonna be a way of thermonuclear missiles. Because ultimately that goes into the will of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, man. And that's what it's all about. And that's what Babylon finna get ready to learn. That it's all about the will of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, man. But you brothers y'all want to speak on that?
God, I got you, bro. Jeremiah 50 and verse 9, KJV. For lo, I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon, an assembly of great nations from the north country. They should set themselves in array against her. Yeah, from thence she shall be taken. So their arrows shall be as of a mighty extra man, and none shall return in vain.
Yep. Just again, going into these nations. Okay, again, start with Gog and Magog, that's going into Russia. Okay, as well as these other nations under Russia, they're gonna come up against Babylon the Great, man. And like we read, even her allies, the ones who was her friends once upon a time, they're gonna shoot their arrows at this place as well. Again, it's all prophecy of the Lord, man. And we just sit back as commanded, watching. Okay, what you got?
God, verse 14. It says, put yourselves in array against Babylon round about, all ye that bend the bow. A shoot at her and spare no arrows, for she has sinned against the Lord.
That's it. Yep. And if I may, it's so many scriptures you can go into how the Lord is going against Babylon. All right, which shows you this is the will of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, man. Okay, that mighty archer, that's Yahushua. All right, like the brother he quoted Joel 2, the army of the Lord, which goes into those missiles. Those missiles are gonna have the spirit of the Lord upon them, man. Okay, just to all come against Babylon the Great, man. Because what? Like the brother read, it says, for she has sinned against the Lord. Okay, the scripture speak about how her iniquity has reached unto the heavens. All right, hey, and here we are. We're like unto that righteous lot. We in the spirit of righteous lot. How we crying and complaining upon this place, man. The Lord is hearing that, man. All right, and the Lord, He's seeing what's going on. Within this place. So now here it is. He put a spirit on these other nations to gather up arms, okay, to get their missiles together, all right, and shoot their arrows at this place, man. What you got it, bro? James chapter 3 and verse 5, it says, even so, the tongue is a little member, and most of great things. Behold, how great a matter a little fire kindled.
Right, so we know that, when we watch Trump in his speech, man, his proud speech, his little tongue, is pretty much fueling this great fire that we're gonna witness. So he's pretty much adding more gas into this spark. We're starting to see, it been inflamed with these different nations, getting riled up as well, man. Turn up against America, you got North Korea that's testifying nukes, of course other nations will, but we talking about how they're allies as well, are gonna say the hell with America. We're tired of this place boasting and bullying us around as if, we can't do for ourselves. I think Trump said something, I don't know if we played it or not, but Trump said about Canada, they wouldn't be here if we didn't,
Catch this left jab like it's vibe in your kidney. Choose your own path to arrive at the victory, cause only will the strong do survive if you get me. I fought many battles in this industry. It's safe to say along my travel time I done with enemies. That energy is on another level, that's a synergy. Not finna be the one to lose, pay the cost of misery. Hesitation costs you everything, you don't want none of this. Meet me on that grabber, hope you ready for your punishment. Take you for a ride, here go your ticket for that mothership. Finish with a special move and take over your government. They loving this. On my third